Lesson 3, Phases of Learning. Now we're going to look at what teacher instructions you have for each activity within each phase of learning. But before we do that, let's look back at how we sorted the ELD standards into these categories by looking back at our work from last year. You can access last year's handbook at this link. Looking at this handbook, you'll find it separated into two sections. The first section is looking at student action. This is going to take you through the proficiency levels for each student from the California English Language Development Standards, as well as looking at the ELD standards at grades 9 and 10. The second part is teacher action. We created 5 categories to help teachers create buckets of learning. We took the ELD standards and sorted them into these categories so it would be easier for us to conceptualize how the ELD standards, which are really student learning outcomes, work together. If you click on the Show Document Outline, you'll see the 5 categories here, so you can easily jump to them. You'll see a basic definition, as well as what the ELD framework discusses, each proficiency level, and the standards that go into those buckets. Now that you know how to access the learning we did last year, let's look deeper at the design for each learning phase. Each learning phase follows the same template. You'll begin by seeing the focus goal along with the closing assessment or feedback that the teacher will be giving at the end of this learning phase. Next, you'll have a catalog of each step of learning, which includes the title and an estimated time. From here, you'll look at what a learning step is. You'll see a description along with the success criteria that will be assessed throughout this activity, the standard from the ELD framework that is being assessed, and then student-facing directions. We created these directions so that they can be cut and paste into whatever activity you want to design. From here, you'll see support directions. These proficiency level supports are going to show you what students at each proficiency might need to do as additional support in order to fully access the lesson. From here on out, you'll notice that the directions are going to be teacher-facing directions. So you won't be providing these necessarily in this way to your students. After those supports, you'll see teacher action. This lets you know what you should be doing while students are participating in the activity, along with support at each proficiency level, which is what you as a teacher might need to provide in order for students to fully access the lesson. And finally, you'll see materials. These will have links to other documents and resources that will allow you to fully conceptualize each step. At the end of the unit, you will once again see the focus goal along with the formative assessment or feedback. Just as a reminder that this needs to be an opportunity for students to continuously come back and receive formative assessment in order for them to be very intentional in the way that they demonstrate their growth. Before moving on to the apply section of this lesson, take a few minutes to explore the phases of learning on your own